Here he comes, the Dlair. You better watch your hose. Oh, this thing's recording. Hey, Jaguar Wright is revealed in Hollywood and all the dirty secrets behind the glitz and glamour, and it's pretty safe to say that some of the biggest celebrities in the world are in some hot water right
The
now.
last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas.
Now, starting off with Diddy, Rice claimed that the videos recorded at his Roth parties involving celebrities like Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Rihanna are all being sold on the dark web for millions of dollars.
My focus right now is Sean Combs.
Okay. Tell us why. Tell us why.
Because he's a sex trafficker. And he's using music and entertainment to sex traffic.
Now, is this just boys, girls, adults, kids?
I mean, from what I've heard from sources that I would consider reliable, it really doesn't matter.
Wow.
I don't think sexuality is something that has anything to do with gender at this point for Sean. I honestly think he's just an extreme narcissist who loves power. He loves the ability to manipulate and control people. Why? Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people.
And his mentor was
Andre Harrell.
Tell us how
who
was
was mentored by Clive Davis.
Oh God. Don't tell me that Andre Harrell got touched by Clive Davis too.
I'm telling you, I don't know what happened between Andre and Clive. What I do know is that Andre got passed over. Like, how do you go from being the president of Uptown and losing your entire company to your intern? Like, Puff started out as an intern.
Yes,
he was
did.
throwing parties with Mark Barnes in Washington, D.C. And then he became an intern at Uptown, and he was very, proactive. And if there's one thing that Sean knows, he knows pop culture.
Not just that, though R was also one of the first people to claim that Diddy was a sex trafficker. Colin Clive Davis was his mentor who taught him everything that he knew, and this happened way before the lawsuits and all the raids. So why all notice she's in on just about everything that went on at Diddy's parties?
Why do you think T.D. Jakes was at Puff Daddy's birthday party?
If Bishop Jakes was at a Diddy party, there could only be two reasons: money or sex. That's all that happens at Diddy parties. I hope it was for money, because arguing about who's going to put the strap on is... that can be a very uncomfortable situation. We're going to pray on it, praise the Lord,
Amen.
At the same time, Wright made it pretty clear that she dodged Diddy parties as much as she could because she knew what went on there. Yeah, so the dealer forced people to drink, but after he laid all the drinks with drugs, then he got people to do all kinds of freaky dicky leak stuff while he was recording them all.
And milk, running the fuck around, about expensive pain in his ass.
Wait, this is Philly you're talking about now. Wait a minute, Jag.
Meek.
Wait a minute.
He's a fucking Fruit Loop. He Diddy-fied.
This is Philly.
He's a deep fried period. He Diddy-fied. He Diddy-fried. He the Diddy do-I-bop. Fuck Meek. Real rap.
You think that audio that they put out was real?
Yeah, that was him. Nicki put that out there. That Nicki recorded that at the freak off in the Calabasas.
Man.
She been waiting to drop that shit on Meek.
Oh, man.
She just wasn't going to tell nobody it was Diddy. But now that Diddy out there, why not?
So then who's the guy who's claiming he recorded it?
Oh, somebody that got paid?
Yeah, he said, I was standing outside the door.
Now I want just celebrities and stars that were going to these freak-offs. I mean, American Bishop T. Jake was a major figure at Diddy's parties, happily participating in all of his sex trafficking stuff.
He's Philly though, Jay. It's Philly.
He Meek Milk. far as I'm concerned, he Meek Milk. I ain't calling him Mill no more. That's milk. That's Meek Milk. Added to the honeycomb. You got a meal.
So you believe the Dwayne Martin story that could have happened?
Of course. Everybody know that shit. Everybody knew they was just ain't nobody know Dwayne was folding him over like that, taking him to Pound Town. And all these black running around marrying these, sitting there convincing other women to go chase a fag. Go get you.
Yeah.
Look at my isn't he? Can you imagine if these told the truth about their relationships?
You know, let's just say that Diddy was having some fun of his own at his freak-off parties when he wasn't recording people. Only that fun wasn't with women, it was with men and rapper Meek Mill, to be exact.
So it looks like Will Smith might be considering taking legal action against Tasha K and a former assistant that claimed that he witnessed Will Smith and his friend Dwayne Martin having sex. This isn't good news for Tasha K because you may have seen this week as well, R. Kelly is taking legal action against her on a story that she had posted a few years ago. But in this new Tasha K interview, a former friend and assistant of Will Smith told her that he walked in Dwayne Martin's dressing room and witnessed Dwayne and Will Smith engaging in sex. Well, a rep for Will Smith is telling TMZ this story is completely fabricated and the claim is unequivocally false. Further, a source close to the situation is telling TMZ that Will Smith is considering taking legal action following Bilal's remarks. If you've been around a long time, then you know that these Will Smith and Dwayne Martin rumors have existed since the Wendy Williams radio days.
Another big Hollywood name to Jaguar exposed for his illegal activities was Will Smith, who was reportedly having an affair with actor Dwayne Martin while still being married to Jada.
Jada was the woman that everybody wanted, and Will needed that validation to have that type of woman. If a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg and you come in with a pinky toe, there's nothing you can do to please her.
Who needs enemies when they got friends like you?
Oh, I could tell you what goes on the inside, what Jada makes the new people do. And I ain't gonna say no, they probably been there after myself, right? They will make you check into a rehab. They're gonna pay for the rehab. And you have to go if you want to work with them. And then I've saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Hollywood is the hurry up and weight gain. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hey, you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. So now I'm holding Dwayne down too. So I had the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, yo, and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they're calling my cell phone. So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will. Yep. Will was bent over on the couch and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Murder. It was murder in there.
And right after Jaguar came forth with these rumors, Will Smith started taking action against everybody, releasing news about his alleged affair, which makes you stop and think, is there some truth to the rumors because that dude's acting mad, shady, and guilty?
There were video girls there that were dancing. Michael Rappaport was there that night.
Who?
Michael Rappaport. The one who's beefing with KD. With Kevin Durant.
No, is he an athlete as well?
No, Michael Rappaport, the actor, he played Remy in Higher Learning.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he was there at the party.
Not to mention, Will Smith's best friend and former helper brother Bilal also says that he walked in on Dwayne Martin being intimate with Will Smith. I mean, why all picture walking in on Will Smith being like, hey, yo, let's watch Independence? Oh my God, what is that man doing?
If people knew what happened to Judy Garland, it would make them sick that the shit is still going on right now. They put her on drugs. They put her on all kinds of stuff. She couldn't sleep. She became an alcoholic to deal with all the sexual abuse. Like you sitting there watching all these great films and these young people, and it looks like They're having the time of their life, and it looks like it's great. And the truth is, they being touched, they being sucked, they being fucked, they being traded. If people actually knew Michael Jackson's childhood after they were signed to Motown,
I mean, even when it came to Charlie Sheen, him and one of the Corys, I can never remember which one. He did him right by the trailer. Just popped him right in the butt, just right by the trailer, and nobody said anything. Just business as usual. So I could only
somebody told the truth.
Like
and these niggas have been doing this shit for 50, 60 years, and they've been getting rich on other people's pain.
Yeah.
Laughing all the way to the bank and telling these people to smile through it all.
Yeah.
Now, that's just the kind of lifestyle that you live in Hollywood. I guess if it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and if you friends with Diddy videotapes.
You know? He actually has another song from one of the earlier albums where one of the lines is, her friends don't like me because they know that I would trade her love for a Grammy. It's the embedded idol worship. See, this was an offering. That's why his name is all over it.
Come on.
Please, keep me in the Illuminati. Please keep me. I wrote a hit record for you. Because that name ain't got shit to do with that song. And to sit in your songs and brag about rejecting the love of a human being for a statue that if you pawn it, you can't even get more than $1,000 for it. That ain't even worth $1,000. Why was you with her in the first place? She was so disposable.
Wright claims that Judy Garland fell prey to this exact lifestyle where she fell into drugs and alcohol, which is what eventually ended up taking her life. So not just he but Jaguar knows all of Hollywood's dark secrets and the rampant drug abuse that still exists in the industry.
Hold on to Chris Brown beating Rihanna, you know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
Ooh, my.
Like, how the fuck did, you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night. And that's because Jay-Z worked so fucking hard to change the narrative of that night. Now, Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started fucking with her and signed to the Def Jam. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most sexually involved with, and that was Sean Carter. So here it is. Chris Brown has his first herpes outbreak from a celebrity girlfriend who he was set up with, and it was supposed to be this and it was supposed to be that, and he was there so people wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was fucking Jay-Z underage. Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. And that first night, when he had that outbreak and he busted into Clive Davis's house and said, "Where the fuck is this dirty bitch at?" I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful, tall, wonderful. Chris Brown, she done ruined him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay-Z herpes.
Oh,
and it's unfair. Because now that's a part of his story. And Rihanna ain't innocent. Because she was in there giving that nigga a blowjob in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, "Bitch, you always fucking sucking something." Then he said, "I'm fucking done with you." And he stormed out of Clive Davis's house, got into his very expensive car, and Rihanna chased after him. She gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her a dick-sucking whore and saying in front of everybody that she gave him the herpes at Clive Davis's house the night before the fucking Grammys. She in the car trying to fuck him up,
They're speeding on the Pacific Coast Highway, and you know Pacific Coast Highway, very steep. She could have killed the both of them, fighting him while he was trying to just get the fuck away from her.
Wright also thinks that this culture of worshiping celebrities with power like Diddy and Jay-Z needs to stop, and he's always connecting their effects with the overall involvement of the Illuminati in the world of Hollywood.
I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know, you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest motherfucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning is gone. Just him. I guess Al disappointed you.
Jaguar has also drawn attention to the fact that everybody in Uptown Records died while they were working on t-shirts and documentaries where they were supposedly going to expose Diddy. It's not a fact that they all died in similar ways, while Diddy wasn't even hurt by a fly, which really makes why all wonder whether the diddler got something to do with it or not. I mean, maybe he ain't out there just filling holes, maybe he's out there putting holes in people too.
It's time to talk hype. It's time for the public to ask you why Aaliyah couldn't get on Lenny Kravitz's plane. And you had to put her on that clown car plane. Who asked you to say that? And do yourself a favor before you make any statements. Please remember, I was out a little X. You're apprenticed. I know a lot more about you than you think I do. It's time for us to stop pussyfooting with the truth. It is time for Aaliyah Dana Houghton's death to be properly investigated. It's time for Fatima Robinson to speak up about what she heard on that phone. It's time for somebody to be honest about who gave Aaliyah the pills that knocked her out before she was carried onto a plane she didn't want to be on. It's time for the other dancers who knew she was terrified to get on that plane to speak up. And it's time for Hype Williams to be officially questioned about why he made her get on that plane and why they forced her to do it unconscious.
Jack, for those that want to follow you...
If not for that, Jaguar definitely thinks Jay's and Beyonce have something to do with the liar's death, and they paid witnesses off to protect themselves.
So it looks like Will Smith might be considering taking legal action against Tasha K and a former assistant that claimed that he witnessed Will Smith and his friend Dwayne Martin having sex. This isn't good news for Tasha K because you may have seen this week as well, R. Kelly is taking legal action against her on a story that she had posted a few years ago. But in this new Tasha K interview, a former friend and assistant of Will Smith told her that